Welcome back to another episode of Adoptions from the Heart TV. I'm your host, Amanda Aliberti. Today I'm going to be sitting down with Donna, who's going to discuss how her 3 children came to her through very different adoption stories. Well, we are super excited to have you, Donna, here today.
Thank you for having me back, Amanda.
I know you've adopted 3 times through our agency. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with each of your children?
Absolutely, and it's really interesting because my 3 children, they came to me in very different circumstances. It's funny, I feel like we kind of do the full range. My oldest child, we actually had an identified adoption where we met outside the agency because of a connection that I had through a work friend. And so we still had a social worker. We really wanted the birth mother to have that extra assistance. But because it was identified, we met when she was only 4 months pregnant. Okay. She met with us and she didn't look at any other couple. So it wasn't like the normal, we had started doing the profile and everything. Right. We kind of got out of doing the awkward video.
Right. You matched on your own and then used the agency moving forward.
Exactly. Gotcha. We were in the process and then we got matched.
Okay.
And that birth mother was really young. She was 16 at the time. So we had so much lead time before the baby was born. We had time to really develop a relationship. Okay. And that really, really helped after the birth, where we just built on that relationship to the point where even now when we have family events and things, she's part of it. Her mother, she now has a son that she's parenting.
Oh, wow.
We're just like family. We're just blended family.
Okay.
And all that kind of stemmed from that early start. Mm-hmm. And then when my son was born, it was quite the opposite because he was an emergency placement.
Oh.
And it was the best surprise in my life. But it was like, oh my gosh, got the call, pick up your child the next day. And
those are the best.
It was the best part, but it was, boy, you realize how unprepared you are. And luckily it was my second child. I do have empathy for people who deal with that with their first. But what was interesting is his birth mother was 40.
Okay.
And it was, nothing was planned, nothing was expected. And so it was a really different experience. She has chosen not to keep in close contact. Okay. We do have some connection, and I'm hoping that eventually we can build on more. I'm open to that, but we do have more of a connection like with the birth father because we see him a couple times a year.
Oh, wonderful.
And his mom too.
Okay.
That's Grandma Dorothy. With my youngest child, my younger daughter, she's the middle of the road. So we went from having a whole lot of like early on, very young birth mother, an older birth mother with no time, emergency placement, to more probably average of what happens. Her birth mother was, I believe, 23 at the time, and picked us 6 weeks out. Okay. We did the profile, did the video and everything, and we had, by that point, 2 children already through adoption. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty easy to have those conversations that are hard at the beginning with birth parents because we could already say, well, this is what we've done. Right. What works with us, we're like a blended family. Right. And we just, we could already say, well, we keep continued contact. Mm-hmm. And she got to meet actually my oldest child's birth mother and blew my mind. It turns out they went to the same high school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
wow.
It's amazing. Small world, they were only like a year apart. So it's funny when I talk to people about, we have three different personalities in each of my 3 children, but 3 different, very different stories of their origin stories, but it just works. Yeah. We make it work.
And you're all open and honest with each other.
Yeah.
Everyone knows their story.
I tell my kids all the time, I'm so lucky to be your mommy. And to me, I'm just proud of the fact that I got picked to be 3 times over. I got picked to be a mom. Yeah. And I wear that like it's like badge of honor. Yeah. And I celebrate that. And I want my kids to celebrate the fact that they are so loved, that their birth parents made the best decision they could. Very loving, selfless, courageous decision. And hey, those are people that love my child. I want to keep them in their life. As long as it's healthy, I want to keep them in their life.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your story.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Donna, for sharing your story. We're hopeful that everyone can see that not every adoption experience is the same, but clearly Donna has love for all her children and all of their birth families. Thanks so much, and tune in next week.